This is Colin Quinn doing a commentary on my 92 comedy special. Did you start?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Miami Beach, Florida. HBO presents Colin Quinn.
There he is.
Starring
Wow.
on One Night Stand. And now, Colin Quinn.
I do have one question.
Yes.
Did you choose Miami?
No, they shot all their specials in Miami. It was a one-night stand. They shot about 10 specials in Miami. So they, I've been, I have a lot to say about this. I didn't want to jump the gun because then the crowd will be like, whoever's listening will be like, oh, look at him trying to defend the indefensible. But I'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
What a way to start the show. What a way to start my big night that I waited my whole life. Don't applaud now, it's too late, ladies. My big night, and I waited my whole pathetic, little, dysfunctional life for one happy night where everybody would sit and listen to me, and you two had to titter off to the bathroom to find out who would spend the night with Mr. My shirt's open, and all right, I just missed Mr. Bench Press. What do you think you are, folks, let me explain something. I like to start out with
Now,
a
let me
little
just stop.
statement, 'cause
I mean, forget all the hand gestures. There's no explanation. But working the late table with the guy with the open shirt was probably the only highlight of this entire half hour. I defend that to the end. They came in late. The guy had an open shirt. We're in Miami. He's a stud. I make a little joke like, which one of you is going to spend the night with him? Which sounds weird, but in Miami, it was a legitimate question. Everybody's on coke. Remember, this is 1992. Coke was probably legal in Miami still. Everybody moved there for the coke. That's why people moved to Miami. It was the height of Miami, 1992. The height of what South Beach was. Every famous model, photographer, celebrity, 1992 was the apex. 92, when I was there. That was it. I was there, by the way, 3 years before, and my friend's uncle goes, real estate here is really booming. South Beach is going to be hot. And I go, ha ha. I was making fun of him to my friend going, yeah, your uncle's really sharp. This dead neighborhood's going to be booming. So it shows what I know. But this is 3 years later. Miami's very hot. So I stand by that opening joke. I stand by it.
I like to start out with a little statement because, this is it. So where shall I begin, really? I'd like to begin at the beginning, okay? And the beginning is, of course, childhood. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, as you all know. I was christened Colin Quinn. A christening, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's a beautiful Catholic ceremony. They take a precious newborn life, put it in the middle of a room, and 80 people smoke and drink in its face for 4 hours. It's very spiritual, folks. It's good for the kids, you know what I mean? At the end of 2 hours, the baby's cursing, you got hair on your chest, tattoos, betting on the Big East tournament. Typical family get together, everyone over 40 is drunk, everyone under 30 is stoned, everyone 30 to 40 is drunk and stoned, and I just bridge the gap rather nicely. No, I don't applaud, that's
Now,
okay.
can we just stop for a second? If you go back to that one guy in the front row, he's already got a bad attitude towards me. You're not supposed to notice the people right there. See the guy on the left? Yeah. He's like, who is this guy think he is sitting down at his comedy? You know, a lot has been said to me by my fellow comedians over the years about the inappropriate audacity to start your special. All right, now I got to go back. We're never going to get through this special because it's bringing up so many memories. So, about 2 months beforehand, they gave me this special, a half hour, right? But they also had me shooting a pilot with Mario Joyner, Judd Apatow, and somebody else. Basically, we're shooting a pilot of 2 comedians on the road. So we were on the road for a month, so we didn't really get to work out our material. So I was already living in LA, so I was kind of not going on that much. So a lot of this, what's happening inside is I'm saying, oh my God, I can't remember my act. I'm playing games. I'm doing stuff that not necessarily what I would have done. So, and it was a lot bigger than it looked. Well, you can see it was pretty big. So I'm sitting there going, oh my God. I was scrambling a lot of the special. That's probably why I opened because my motto is fail bravely, as they used to say. So that's why I probably opened with the crowd work. I was ahead of my time doing crowd work for clips back then. And for sitting on the stage was me failing bravely, saying, I'm going to pretend I'm so relaxed that I'm going to sit on the stage. And it was a power move. Even though it was a failed power move, it was a power move.
Now, would you do that normally at that time?
Never.
Never. Okay.
Never. I mean, maybe I did it once. I doubt it. But no, this was strictly going. And by the way, every guy to this day, the Pirates jacket is the most offensive thing to everybody. Because, you know, you're not a Pirates fan. I mean, I love the Pirates in the 70s. I'll go over the lineup right now in the 70s. And, you know, Al Oliver. I mean, the Pirates were one of the great teams. But there's no reason for me wearing a Pirates jacket.
And now at the time, is this like a big deal to get a special? There's only a few a year at this point? Or is
Well, they're all half hours. It was starting to become, this was right before the comedy crash. This was the apex of the comedy boom. So it kind of crashed right after this. So in a way it was big, in a way it wasn't big. Okay. But HBO was a big deal. But it was about to crash, comedy. 92. The comedy crash happened right after that.
Everyone 30 to 40 is drunk and stoned, you know? And I just bridge the gap rather nicely. No, I don't applaud, that's okay, you know? And you always hear about the innocence of children. But folks, do you remember being innocent? I remember 5 years old upstairs in the party room with my cousins. That's innocence. You know, this one's smearing excrement on the walls. That one's drinking the other one's urine. This one's playing with that one's genitals. It's like Caligula with these fucking kids, you know? Having more fun than we do. It was like a Roman orgy when you really look at it. If you look at it the way I'm looking at it. And you always have... you know, you like that little stage business? Yeah, very deep. Choreography by Quinn. You always have that one drunken uncle that tells you shit you should never hear as long as you live, you know what I mean? You're 12 years old, he's got you pinned against a refrigerator. You know, your father fucked your aunt. You knew that, though, didn't you? He knew that. Get off me, he knew that. You always have that one cousin you have a little sexual attraction to, you know what I mean, folks? Come on, I'm not saying you touched your cousin, I'm just saying. No, the men in the room can't deny this. If your female cousin leans over to get something, you look right down your own cousin's shirt, all right? And then it occurs to you how low you've sunk for a cheap thrill at a sacred family get-together, all right? You're half-loaded, you're like, what am I doing? That's not girl breast I'm looking at, that's cousin breast, folks, all right? That's blood breast we're talking about. My blood flows through those breasts, what I'm saying here. No wonder you have an erection, you know? It's kind of a circulatory thing, really, when you think about it. It's like a science class, folks. I hope you appreciate the knowledge that I'm imparting. And the sad truth is, no man ever gets spiritual enough where he won't look down your shirt given the opportunities, ladies, okay? No man grows out, even the Pope, when he's giving high holy mass, they're leaning over to kiss his ring. He's like, Sanctimus, Dominus, holy shit, Monsignor, 10 o'clock. Get over here right now. I want to miss this. How can I phrase this, okay? The dysfunction, where does it all start? What does it all mean? Now, a lot of people say they don't care about the dysfunctional family. It's not important. But, folks, it is also very important. I don't think you understand. First of all,
okay,
all the world problems.
so far, even though my, kind of my affected attitude is horrifying, but the material, 1992, I'll stand by it. And even though I've been compared to Christian Bale in The Fighter, my looking like a cracked out, like a crackhead from the 90s, I'll stand by the material so far.
I just wish there was TikTok back then.
Dysfunctional family. That's the fact. Okay, violence. How does violence start? It starts with the family. It starts at home. Your father gets yelled at work, so he's mad at his boss. So he comes home and yells at your mother because he's mad at his boss. Now she's mad at him, so she smacks you. You're mad at her, so you kick the family dog, all right? The dog is mad at you, so he goes out and bites the mailman. The mailman is mad at the dog, so he goes back to the post office and slaughters 14 of his coworkers. You know what I mean, folks? Like a whole family. That's not a post office thing.
Well, the post office was a, there were mass killings in the post office. So that was a great bit. But, again, and by the way, a lot has been said about that horribly placed necklace on my chest, but I would have taken a lot more abuse if it was an actual, just a shell necklace that people would have to see. At least this way, people look at it, they get annoyed, but then they forget it's there because it's so low. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Is this how you would dress back then?
Yeah. Well, it was 92.
Okay.
That's going to be my excuse throughout this whole special.
It's happening. Now you might say, how come it all started now? How come everybody's talking about this whole dysfunctional stuff now? Folks, it's no accident that we grew up watching these 70s happy, sitcoms, and now everyone's dysfunctional because those shows warped your perspective, You'd sit there, it's a big joke now, the Brady Bunch, but when you were a little kid and you watched those shows, you took that shit seriously, And you'd be watching The Den and happy, and then you'd look at your own family with the divorce, the child abuse, or the alcoholism, and you felt like shit, That's why kids today are going to be a lot more emotionally healthy when they grow up, because they're watching more reality-based family shows like Cops and America's Most Wanted, We love violence, folks. Oh, we pretend we hate it, but you would not go see a Stallone movie, you know what I mean? If in the middle of it, he just grabbed some guy and said, I was going to shoot you, but I realize you have low self-esteem, so I'm going to let you go, You would not watch The Three Stooges if Larry just grabbed Moe and goes, hey, come on, we're brothers, all right? You have some control issues because our father abandoned us. Why don't you wake up and just be honest with yourself, You need to see the violence because it looks so good on TV. When I was little, I'd watch Cagney, bang, till some guy would hit him and he'd have some clever little remark, you know what I mean, and come right back. I didn't know it was going to be like, you're fucking right, I'm going to press charges. Holy shit. That's how this movie should have looked because, folks, and kids now have it even worse because their role models are these guys, first of all, Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know what I mean? And Van Damme, see, this is what I'm talking about. Women love Van Damme, at least Seagal is kind of an ugly fuck, and I'm saying that. But Van Damme is not only can kick your ass, but he also is a beautiful looking guy, and that's a combination I've always fucking hated. I can't understand. It eats right through me when they applaud. I can't even understand what kind of a guy would take his girlfriend to see a Van Damme movie. It's a lovely Saturday afternoon, honey. Things are going so well in our relationship. Let's go to the movies today and watch a movie about a guy that can run faster, jump higher, fight longer, fuck harder, and has more money than I ever will as long as we live, honey. Honey, no. Folks, don't applaud. It goes off my... You'll never have an orgasm with me again unless he put on a fake Belgian accent, is what he said. Then, you go to the movies, you're watching the Van Damme movie, okay? That damn Van Damme movie, folks. You're sitting there, here's Van Damme, now your girlfriend puts her hand on your arm, now you gotta flex for the entire 2.5 hours of the movie, all right? Even though she knows you have no muscle, you know you have no muscle, it's still less offensive when it's fucking flexed, all right? You're trying to recall those 3 weeks of curls you did back in '89, The movie starts, here comes Van Damme and his girlfriend walking down the happy street, folks, and 6 badass bikers whistle at her. Well, folks, Van Damme is not going to stand for that now, is he? He's over here in a flash. This one goes through the plate glass window, all right? The other one's riding in pain on the floor. Van Damme hasn't even touched him yet. It's just some ancient technique he learned in the Orient many years ago. The third one goes into the fruit stand because they always have, even if it's the middle of the fucking desert, they always have to have the fruit stand. Because it's so funny when the bad guy and the fucking tomatoes go rolling down the hill 10,000 movies in a row. And it puts a lot of pressure on young guys. Hey, fellas, if you're a youthful man, you don't have to do shit. If you're with your girlfriend, six bike, a guy say shit, all you do is one of two techniques. One is, honey, did they just say something to you? Meanwhile, they yelled in your ear, but you're pretending like you can't hear, you know? Or the other technique, which is like you're gonna kick somebody's ass, right? And then ladies, you just walk over, what the fuck did, and it's up to the women to hold us back, okay? I wanna make that clear, because sometimes if you don't know them that well, they don't think you're acting, and then you end up surrounded by six guys like, oh fuck, oh shit. If I get out of this, she's gonna die. I know that. That much I know, right? I'd like to talk a little bit about health. I recently had my last bout with chronic prostatitis.
All right, let's stop for a second. So far, I'm still standing by 1992, this material. I'm standing by it. But my performance, I was really ahead of my time because I was doing act outs. Only the problem with my act outs were they were just weird. They were sort of, you know, just this, I don't know what I was thinking, but the act outs they were just, I don't know what I was flailing like that. I don't know what I was trying to achieve.
It's like all shoulders.
Yeah.
A lot of shoulder work.
A lot of shoulder work and a lot of wrist work and not well done.
Now, do you remember working these bits out? Was that a bit you were doing at the time?
No, I wasn't able. I mean, I had done those bits, of
Okay.
course, but I wasn't able to. Oh my God.
Bagels here?
They said he doesn't have this building 12 minutes ago. Doesn't have that apartment. We're going to have bagels and have a nice breakfast. So I'll stand by this material. Even though...
I'm curious, how long were you doing that joke? Was that a joke that was like 6 months old or a year old?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Which one? The Van Damme thing?
Yeah.
Yes. But it wasn't, as you can see, there was a lot of this was funny ideas, but they weren't deeply developed stuff. You know what I mean? They were just, and I was doing my usual muttering and stuttering through it, but it was also, they weren't fleshed out.
And would you normally smoke on stage, or is that just...
Oh, I always smoked on stage.
Okay, cool.
Every time I'm on stage, I smoked.
I don't find it very amusing, folks. I had to go to my doctor. And first of all, they have to give you a prostate massage every 10 days. Which is where it's the latest medical breakthrough, where the guy
As
takes...
you can hear, by the way, as you can hear from my voice, and from the fact that I had prostatitis at 31, I was probably close. I quit cigarettes a year later. I smoked it's going to be at least 3 packs a day, every day, since I was like 15. So I was chain smoking all the time. So I was probably going to have some, I would have been dead probably within 10 years of this special. Definitely. You can hear it in my voice. I'm talking like that. My voice was fine that day. I didn't have a cold. And I smoked all day, every day. And I'd get all these like weird old man diseases like prostatitis because my whole body was just a smokestack,
What cigarette would you go to?
Marlboro and Parliament. Okay. I went down to Parliament from Marlboro, like a lot of people did in the 90s because it was a little milder. Marlboro started to get to you. But, so that's what this bit is all true.
Finger and shoves it, you know what I mean? Up your very latest medic. But the point is that when that's your only reality, you get very used to that, you know what I mean? So if I'm not there every 10 days, if I'm on the road or something, I feel that sense of emptiness and longing, you know what I mean? Then you have Valentine's Day comes along, you know what I mean? No card from Dr. Kashababi, whatever his name is. I forget his name, I shouldn't say that, it's cruel, No, but the sad thing is, but the beautiful part is, he told me I have to ejaculate, if you'll excuse the French, twice a day. So that means, he said by hook or by crook, he said whatever you gotta do, That means if you people see me buying a copy of Penthouse magazine, don't fucking judge me, all right? That's under medical orders that I'm doing that. Medically supervised, folks. Well, maybe I will light this cigarette. So do you have a match for me? Thank you. How about you, my little coquettes?
All right, ready? Let me just say, Penthouse magazine, by the way, that's really says it all. That just tells you what year it was. Penthouse magazine.
It's a throwback.
Wow.
And now you're going to the crowd to.
Yeah,
light a
now I was
cigarette.
ahead of my time. I was doing crowd work before it was cool.
You girls are like young Miami 18-year-old just waiting like you're 2 weeks away from being corrupted by some fucking German photographer. You know what I mean? On the beach.
The crowd loved that one.
It's so, you have your little cigarettes, one pack for four of you, and just 2 weeks away from some, like, you know, guy in a little G-string, male bikini, with a fat, hairy belly going, you are so beautiful, you're fucking purity. These other chicks are washed up. I must photograph you. You're fucking intoxicating. All right. Now, what's your name?
Melissa.
Little Melissa. Are you from around here?
Yes.
Just from where? Candle? A little candle, a little wick in the wind. That's all she is. My little wick.
Hey, not
little
bad.
Melissa. See, I just broke up with my girlfriend, and I'm not saying that to hit on you, because you obviously, what are you at, 16? 17? Older than that?
Yeah.
You just saying that because you have a drink and you're on TV? And I don't judge you. I don't judge you, my little pobrecito. All right, little queridita. Sorry, I just wanted to nestle in her hair. See, that's the beauty of being a comedian. That was part of the show, that I nestle in this obviously underage girl's hair. But it was not just because I'm a degenerate bastard. It's because I think I was making an important statement just now about love, about May, December.
See,
all
now
this
I'm
other
trying to,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh my God, I love that little, you know what I mean? That little Fraulein, what do you call it? You know, Heidi and the fucking mounts. I like up there with you with a bottle of Wiener fucking Schnitzel or whatever it's called, I don't know. Folks, as I move around the crowd, sir, don't fucking start with me. I know, look at this. Can I please get a camera shot of this aging, linen-skinned, former biker, motherfucker, ex-convict? Oh, Jesus. Look at you. A nice...
Now, is this normal for you to go in the crowd?
What's that?
Would you normally go in the crowd?
Yeah, I mean,
Really? Oh, wow.
yeah, play around with the crowd. I mean, when, you know.
I've never seen it in a special before. walking through
No,
a
I
crowd.
never did it in a special. I was trying to be more, you know, because I'm already ramble. So if I go in the crowd, I start rambling like this. But yeah, I would like to do a crowd work special. But now everybody's done it. But I mean, I love walking the crowd, like trying to come up with references, like, you know what I mean, like.
This is great. I've never seen this before.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun to come up with all the references, you know, for different people in the crowd. I used to love it. Yeah.
Is that what he is? You're like this nice little New York girl that moved down here, figuring you'd meet some, you know what I mean, some classy Carlos from, you know, Flying Nun type fucking yachtsman, all right? And you run into this guy at a fucking Molly Hatchet concert, all right? You forgot Molly Hatchet, folks, but I didn't. No, I'm just kidding, sir. Body of Christ. That was just a little working the crowd type thing I was working on. How are you? I always have to keep in touch with him, because that's, you know, that's the key to good Aikido. Now, anyway, Malicita. How can I phrase this, folks? Oh, I was talking about the relationships. Now, you know, you take a girl, first of all, a girl broke up with me. And at first I was like, well, you know, this is what happens. People break up. But when you look in terms of 1992, that's the most profound statement anyone can make, all right? That's like saying, hey, I would rather go out there and risk possible death having sexual contact with somebody else than to ever fuck you again. You know what I mean, folks? That's what they're saying. So if somebody breaks up with you, don't take it so fucking lightly. It's definitely a little more serious than at first we thunk. I've always had, you know, I've had a lot of dysfunctional relationships. I broke up with this girl recently and called me immature, you know. 15 years old, calling me immature. You know what I mean, folks? No respect for
Old
the
school
elders.
jokes.
Yeah.
That's the #1 problem out there. You know, and don't cheat, by the way. Now you're young, you're in. I know you're saying, Carl, How can we tell? Now, of course, the guys are with their dates tonight. No one's gonna cheat. You're all sitting there like, honey, I'm not like that. I'm a sensitive, easy listening, Dan Fogelberg fucking guy. Whatever. Well, fellas, give yourself the little test. If you get past this, then God bless you. You're a better man than most of us. When you finally meet that beautiful girl that we all meet once in life, that loves you unconditionally, all right? Tells you're an animal in bed, makes you feel like a whole man for the first time in your miserable existence, do you think to yourself, A, hey, how lucky I am to have met this beautiful girl who gives me all this confidence, you know? Or B, hey, if I can get her, I can get all those other girls I never thought I could get, you know? If I'm as good as she says, I gotta share the wealth. The world has gotten a little bit, just a little, I would never censor anything, God forbid that fucking hated word, censorship. But let me tell you something, folks, okay? We've gone off the deep end. Now look, even look at the justice system, okay? They got Jeffrey Dahmer, and they're saying, is he sane, is he insane? It doesn't matter. You know, you take a mass murderer, you're not going to rehabilitate him no matter what he is. You teach him how to crochet.
I get squat like that now, but I couldn't get back.
Eventually, you know, you teach him geometry, he'll cut you into a fucking isosceles triangle, all right? You got parole. What does parole mean? We sit there like that's normal. That means if you go to jail for a crime which everyone kind of acknowledges you committed, while you're in jail for that crime, if you get along well with the murderers and rapists that are in there, then you're healthy enough to come out and hang out with us, because if they like you, there must be something to you. Folks, these are their references when they go to the parole board, all right? They're sitting there and the parole board's like, well, Manson says he's good people, you know? Hey, this guy was Ted Bundy's bridge partner. Maybe we gotta give him a second shot. You know, not that we're innocent, folks. We're all murderers. Let's face it. We've all committed the crime of murder. Maybe not other human beings, but we've all been genocide ants. The genocide of the fucking bugs alone. And you don't kill them because you're hungry and you want to eat them for sustenance. You just like the feel of the crunch underneath your foot. You just take out a few bugs. And you know you're doing something wrong. Anytime I see like 20 ants gathered, I figure they're getting paranoid, like, hey, fuck this, we should say something, you know? And I'm always like, if you see like 20 of them, you're like, all right, break it up, you mother. You know, you take it on yourself to be the world police. Like, we're something special. And now you might say, hey, well, animals, which we also kill, at least we eat those. But even there, folks, what are the ones we eat? We eat the easiest ones to kill, you know what I mean? We love turkey, what a delicacy. We love cows, you know what I mean? So delicious. We love chickens, pigs. I'm sure bear meat is delicious, but nobody's gonna fuck with a bear, you know what I mean? He's just sitting there like, come on, yeah, come on. In fact, we had to learn the hard way a couple of thousands of years ago. We didn't know better. Two cavemen were walking along, you know? One of them's like, you know what I'd like today, Steve? A tiger burger might be nice, you know? The tiger was walking by, he overheard him. He's like, well, I'll give you a tiger burger. Come here, come here. Come here, you drawing on the walls like a 6-year-old child. Wouldn't know a fire if I lit one under your ass. Wife-beating bastard. I got a tiger burger for you. I think I'll have a turkey club, Steve, now that I think about it, you know? Hey, let's take a moment to reflect on the whole thing so far, on what we have wrought tonight.
You use the ring finger a lot in your act outs, huh?
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, as horrifying as inexcusable as my performance itself is, I'm going to this material. I was like, I thought I had a lot less. Considering I didn't do a set, I don't think I did a warm-up set. I know I didn't go on for at least a month and a half. So I'm coming in very choppy, and and by the way, I give full credit to the director and the editor on this too, because it looks respectable.
Okay.
Considering it was a long time.
And what happened with that pilot from The Road? What happened with that?
What's
pilot?
that?
The pilot for Judd and. Did you ever see it?
Yeah, it went nowhere. It was you know, it wasn't a bad. It was a good idea, but it was just, I don't know, you know, those things happen. But yeah.
I wonder if we could dig that out. That sounds great.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But yeah, I'm sure it's somewhere. Who knows?
Gotta find it.
But this is so funny.
This is great.
Let's take a moment to reflect on the whole thing so far, on what we have wrought tonight.
See, that's what I'm saying now, because I don't know what's going on.
You know, it's funny you brought this up, folks. I'm glad you did. You know what I mean? They'll cut into that, and it'll be like we had this great conversation back and forth. I do. I feel it. Well, folks, let's face it. Comedy is a collective art. You know what I mean? If there's no laughter, I don't bomb. We bomb. If folks, some of this shit, you better rewrite tomorrow, because I really don't find it that funny.
Oh, hold on, this is the delivery guy, sorry.
Is he here?
I think so. Hello? Oh, hey.
You ready to get back? How was your bagel?
It was good.
What'd you have?
I had eggs, turkey sausage, and poppy seed. But I didn't eat the poppy seed because I don't want to mess up your house with poppy seeds. Poppy seed bagels are they're very, you can't control them.
They get everywhere.
They have a life of their own.
Now, we were saying while we took a break that you look like Jack Harlow up on stage.
And I really did. This is a good study in kind of like an insecure egotism. That's what I would also say.
I like
I
that.
got a turn? All right, here's the story. Because I know you look at me and say, Carl, give us the guts. Give us the guts of it all, folks. Okay, you want the guts, you got the guts. I was in the park yesterday afternoon watching, and I ran into the one kid that I hope never to see again as long as I live. I was at this outdoor beach party, Miami Park party. I ran into the kid that I never wanted to see again. The guy that when me and him were 10 years old, we used to play with each other's penis a little bit. You know what I mean, boys? You lying bastards. Don't leave me here, you little homo fucks, all right? I know I'm not the only one that... No, I love saying that because guys' girlfriends look at them. Honey, did you do that? No, this guy. I don't know what he's talking. It's funny that he did it. That's why I'm laughing. It wouldn't be funny if it happened to somebody like me. Oh, man.
By the way, I was also very influenced by Rich Jenny, who was a great comic a lot of people might not know. And that moment I was like, oh my God, Rich, because Rich Jenny was this guy that everybody loved. You talk to a towel, he'll tell you and he would just get up there and tell these long stories, but it was always, anyway, I could just see a little bit of Rich Jenny.
Man. Well, I'd like to leave on a little important story that I think we're all going to get a big kick out of. Because, why do I think we're going to get a kick out of it, folks? Because I know comedy. And you might be saying, well, Carl, we've been relatively quiet out here tonight. Folks, I don't take that personally. I don't take that the wrong way. I know you're sitting out here listening, saying, boy, that Colin Quinn, he's really something. And maybe I'm not a kid. Maybe I'm what I always wanted to be, folks, a philosopher. You ever think about that? Because I've been thinking a lot. First of all, being a philosopher is great. It's very easy. I just say I'm a philosopher, therefore I am. You know what I mean? Here I am, fucking philosopher. Second of all, folks, we need a great philosopher in this country because there are none. First of all, none of those guys would last 2 seconds because the world is too cruel now. You'd have some like Descartes sitting in a bar somewhere. He'd be like, I think, therefore I am. The guy next to him be like, I think you're a fucking alcoholic, all right? That's what I think. I think you should shut up and buy around, Because this country has no great philosophy. We have no quotes for the ages like I think, therefore I am, God is dead, any of that stuff. What's the greatest quote that's come out of this country in the past 100 years? He who smelt it dealt it. Really. Which is very true and profound in its simplicity. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to nullify it. Because I've been thinking about, you know why I could be a philosopher? Because I've been thinking about death. And that's the most important thing. And I've been thinking I might be a little disappointed with heaven, folks, because I keep hearing that heaven, all is forgiven, all are forgiven. Folks, that's not what I was looking for in heaven, to be quite honest with you. You know what I mean? I was looking for me to be forgiven and the other good people in the world and all the pricks to be like in a glass bottom, where you could just look at them and go, yeah, I told you were an asshole, okay? I'd like to leave on a story that I think is very important to all of us, very germane to the whole situation. It's about a little boy. Because I was watching a softball game recently, and it was a bunch of 12-year-old boys playing softball, in the park. And that I go to the park and watch 12-year-old boys. Very funny, folks, But after the last thing I revealed to you, I don't know, how much you're going to judge, So I'm watching the game, and there's one kid out in right field, worst position in the game, right? Floppy hat, baggy shorts, mucus running down his nose. He's shaking like a leaf, waiting for the ball to get in, and the ball finally gets hit out to him, which he doesn't want. He drops it, and this short, fat, mean-ass little second baseman yells out, "You suck!" Huh? Fellas, can you identify? A tear came to my eye. Because I could identify with that small child, folks. Not with the right fielder, with the second baseman. Because I was a nasty little bastard when I was little, now that I think about it. I like to leave with sports because sports are very important to me. I love, my favorite athlete is, of course, Jordan, from the New Kids. You know, I really like him. No, I do. I think he's really fucking adorable. And, you know, I was thinking about the whole Tyson thing, because I used to box professionally under the name Anne Marie. I don't know if you followed my career. It was a long and illustrious one. And I was thinking, first of all, Tyson going to jail. I mean, that's another example of the waste of... What they should do is have Tyson just go to jail every day and fight one rapist a day. You know what I mean? They're like getting rid of several thousand. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna leave. Thank you, ladies. I'm gonna leave. But I'm gonna leave. You know how I'm gonna leave? This is how we'll make this special really special. Instead of the applause, the ha-ha, thank you, and come out and get the other bow, I'm gonna leave. You ever see The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock? Do you remember the last scene when the birds were all hanging out at the house and they gotta get to the fucking car? And they have to tiptoe, and the birds are sitting there like, yeah, move, and they get in the car and they just leave. And that was the end of the movie. This will be the end of our little movie. Thank you, folks. Take care. Good night. Body and face. Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that ending there?
I mean, I did 5 endings. It was just, I mean, that shows I was unprepared. I'll give myself, you know what? I'm glad we did this. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to trash this special. I stand by that ending of The Birds. At least it was different. Look, like I said, there's definitely a thing with comedy where you want to end strong. It's an art, whatever. But a lot of people cheat on their endings. And even though my ending wasn't good, at least it was something different. You know, nobody can say that special wasn't. You know, it was like the beginning of, I mean, I'm stealing this. Patrice O'Neill. You think this is hurt? You think this is brutal? Patrice had the audacity to watch this special. I just imagine him sitting in his house. It was like 2004. He goes, yeah, man, I saw your special last night. And I was like, oh, God. And he said, yeah, you were the first alternative comic, huh? You were the first alternative comic up there. And I was like, yeah, this guy. And, of course, the biggest insult of all was one man who turned on me after this special, didn't know me before that, but really dug into me about this special for a long time, and I still resented Rich Voss.
What did he have to say?
He just threw little jabs at me for like 8 years. And we didn't know each other too well. It used to piss me off.
So after this airs, does this have any impact on your career?
Not a positive one, no. It actually had a negative one. It was one of those ones where it's like, oh, things can negatively affect your career too.
Interesting. And what really happened, can you say?
What's that now?
What negative happened?
Nothing. It just kind of, it was just not, you know, it didn't, I was moving in a direction and that stopped after the special. You know? Yeah, it was definitely, the material's fine. The performance is insane, you know? It's crazy. It's, you know, it's part, you know, I don't know what, I'm not sure what I was trying to do, kind of like, you know, restoration comedy meets, you know, I don't know what I was up to, but I know I had a plan, but I just didn't have the skill to pull it off.
So what's the next special you filmed after this?
But by the way, what really kills that special is the ending, that I have 4 different endings. All of them are undeveloped bits that could have been funny. The next special I did after this was Tough Crowd Stands Up.
And do you think there was a big improvement between the two?
Yeah. And the next special of my own material I got to do was probably Long Story Short. they wouldn't even come see me for a long time.
Wow.
Not just because of this, just in general.
And I guess my big question for you is, like, in this new age of everyone has a special on YouTube,
Yeah.
what is your advice to a young comic making their 92 special today?
I would say my heart, don't take 2 months or whatever amount of time I took away from comedy. It was really more like I was going on once in a while, but I was not seriously working the craft for like a few months. So I was remembering things at the last minute. I didn't go on. I don't think I went on the night before this damn thing. I don't think I went on for a month and a half, 2 months. I mean, it was that crazy. It's like, take comedy more seriously to work it out, And, I stand by all that, except it's undeveloped. What we've been talking about. I feel like all that material, I could have done like 4 of those bits, and if I developed them, instead of just keep breaking down into new things, new thoughts, Like I was doing like a one-liners rhythm, only without one-liners.
Mm.
That's not a good thing. No.
It's not great.
All in all, I wish I even as insane as I was, I wish I looked like that. I wish I had that kind of confidence, that delusional confidence, and I wish it was Miami in 1992.
Yeah, at what point do you think you lost that delusional confidence?
Oh my God! Probably right after that special. Definitely in the next 2 years. Yeah. Well, thank you. It was really interesting.
I guess, did you come in thinking this was the most embarrassing thing you've done on film?
I thought it was horrifying. Yeah.
Okay.
But
it wasn't bad.
I say, it definitely is undeveloped work in comedy. The writing is undeveloped, and obviously I didn't get to work it out. But I mean, it was when you compare that to like thank God there's no footage of the De Niro birthday party, because that was really another level. But it had similarities in the sense that I went in there expecting certain things that didn't occur.
So you think that's the crown for most embarrassing thing you've done in this career?
I don't know. You don't really get embarrassed in comedy. You know what I mean? It's more like you just take the hit. Like, it's not embarrassing. Like, you can't really be ashamed in comedy because it's got shame all over. It's got that's part of the thing,
It's inherent, yeah.
Like Lorne Michaels once said to me, he goes, I go, yeah, the fact that you could bomb. And he goes, but that's where the laughs come from, the tension of that. And I go, you're right. Like, it's got to have that element, or else there's nothing tense. If every joke you say, the crowd knew was going to laugh, then, you know what I mean? There wouldn't be any tension in it.
Yeah, it's like a flat soda.
Yeah.
So if we were to do this again, what would be the next thing you would rewatch?
Oh, I mean, as far as bad things or good things?
Or things you're not sure about how they've aged?
I mean, I got to think about that, but I mean, maybe the movie I did with with Night of the Roxbury.
Oh, yeah. I loved you in Hoobie Halloween. I saw that the other day.
Oh, but that was only one scene.
That was great.
That was funny.
All right, yeah. Everyone see Colin on tour.
Yeah.
ColinQuinn.com.
I'll break out some of those bits for you. I'll do some crowd work. By the way, the crowd work, you made me want to get back into it now.
That was great. That was like Matt Ripe's going to steal that from you, walking around the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.